Hello, this is going to be a quick video tutorial on early leaf with chest storage. I believe it's a pretty common consensus that when it comes to newcomers trying to get into the game, one of the major roadblocks that ends up stopping them is learning how to zombie hover. And unfortunately, even in the most beginner-friendly category, there are still two hovers that you need to do, those being morph hover and leaf hover. Fortunately, leaf hover isn't hard required. It does have a backup or alternative, although slower, and that's what I will be showing off now. So let's get started. Well, first and foremost, you're going to want to skip or watch the Tree cutscene, so that when we come back, the leaf is here and ready to go once we, get up there and are ready to obtain it. You technically can wait till after. It is faster in the grand scheme of things, however, it requires you to then first try Tree cutscene skip, and if you don't get it, then you have to either go get chest storage again from another chest, or just hover at that point. So, with this trying to be like a beginner-friendly alternative, I'm assuming that you just want to do the safest strats possible. So either watch or skip the cutscene, and then now we will leave and go get chest storage. Luckily, there is a conveniently placed chest on a raft just south of here, in the south quadrant of Boating Course, whatever the hell it's called. So first we're going to go down this area and enter and leave Beetle so that we reload him back in his starting position so that we can use him for double storage. Because that is helpful to get double storage. As we're going to need double storage in order to get chest storage while in camera lock to be able to swim back and forth between here and there. So, let's get double storage. Might take a while because Beetle's Beetle. That's one. No, please. Okay, cool. We will now go. We will start charging the swim. And you don't have to charge that much. It's only a quadrant away. And again, it is one quadrant south, and it's located pretty much in the center of the quadrant. I'll zoom in on the sea chart once we get there. It might be a little difficult to find, especially if you're doing any percent itself and you have Endless Night. If in no MSS, there'll be no Endless Night. It'll be easier to see. But we'll just... Oh, I forgot that south is like... that way. Exactly what happened to me last time. But yeah, it's just south of here. Should be in the around the general center of the quadrant, but I will zoom in once we get there. So what you're going to want to do is head about, I guess, somewhat southeast, and then once you clear the island, turn so that you end up more generally south. And once you get in the quadrant, you should hopefully see it coming up. Yeah, there. Here we go. So it's in the mess of all the sea hats, and you're going to want to go to the middle one. Whoopsies. That's good enough, actually. The middle raft, because this is the one that has the chest. And again, just to show... Okay, it's not in the middle. It's in the middle in regards to, like, left and right, but it's about in, the bottom of the island in the middle, so middle south of the island is approximately where it is. Just a little bit south of the center. So it's, not that hard to find. And with C chart, if you memorize that position, it shouldn't be that bad. Now we'll grab the chest, and we will begin leaving. This place is really annoying because there's a giant octo rock that you target a million times if you try to, like, get out of here. So what I recommend doing is just getting a little bit of speed and buffering out of, or like maneuvering out of here. You can just do that by not holding target and just wiggling the stick ESS down left, down right to maneuver your way out there. Because this is a one quadrant swim, you don't need that much air. It's really not that bad. And now that we have enough, we will make our way back towards Forest Haven. And I pay attention to about how I do this. It really doesn't matter whether you go around the left or the right side of the island. You just want to try to get near where, the initial ledge is near Beetle. You can pause buffer a little bit if you want, but now we're on Beetle, kill the speed, and then just get on Beetle real quick. You don't have to get on Beetle. The following clip I'm about to do can be done in camera lock, but I would just recommend getting on Beetle and then just immediately just getting rid of camera lock. Because you load the quadrant by coming here, Beetle will always just start in this area right here. So you just gotta get to this side. And again, it doesn't matter if you go around the left or the right side. I just like doing that and just swinging my way towards Beetle. That'll definitely come with practice. And now what we will do is fall right here and ESS into this corner, and you should just clip in. And we will now make our way towards the pond. And once we do that, we will do the actual chest storage strats to get up to the second floor. So if you're familiar with like categories like all dungeons, you might have seen people hover outside to get up to where we're about to go. But again, the whole point is we're trying to skip a hover, so we'll do chest storage outside. So now that we're up here, we'll do the actual chest storage shenanigans. So you want to get into around this spot and backflip, because there's a piece of standable collision, assuming you have chest storage, that you can stand on. Like so. And this is where it probably gets a little finicky and hard to explain when it comes to the trick, because it's very weird to walk up this. You can get stuck between two states of like walking up like you want to at the side of this wall, or you'll get in a weird state where like just like walk to the right and get stuck on that bottom part of lip right here. Usually if you just ESS up, you'll be fine, you'll walk up. And additionally, you do want to slightly shift your angle more towards the left to be more forward facing towards the spot we were walking up. That's something I failed to mention in the video, but you can clearly see that I initially first slightly adjust the angle, but yeah. And bam, you're good to go. You can just walk up here and begin the trick. However, what could maybe happen sometimes is the following. I'll try to show it. Yeah, I'm like getting stuck on this, like I'll go down, I'll be like get stuck in this state where like it doesn't let me go up, and like getting stuck on this bottom lip instead, like so, and that's bad. It's good for low percent, but it's bad for this. One way you can go about fixing this, as you can see I kind of inadvertently did on accident but failed to mention once again, is that usually if I see that that's the case happening, I back it up a little bit to the point of before I start branching off to the right, and I kind of shift my angle a little bit more left. You can kind of see that's what I did here to fix that. So yeah, just slightly shift the angle left, ESS up, and then if it doesn't work, just try to backtrack a little bit, adjust a little bit more on angle, and then again ESS up, and it should be good. And once you start walking up, you can don't have to ESS up anymore. You can just run full up. I kind of do that on successful attempts, but again, failed to mention that. So usually what I like to do is just ESS up, and usually it'll just like let you go up immediately. However, sometimes you'll get stuck sliding, and eventually when you slide like that a lot, usually it'll let you just go up eventually. It's kind of weird. But yeah, just ESS up and you should hopefully be good. And now we can begin the next part of the trick, which is the jump slashing part. So what I like to do to set this up is go about in the middle where these two like sections of the tree meet and walk up until your feet touch around the top of the light texture. It's not too precise. And then now to line up the angle for the jump slashes, I like to make the bottom of the second B button character in Japanese flush with the top of the tree like that. So the top, that little horizontal top of the tree. And then now, all you have to do is mash up with jump slashes to get up there. So what you're going to want to do is just start with the targeted slash and then continue mashing B to climb up. You don't have to continue to hold the L button once you get that first one. That's just to start it off. And when it comes to the mash, it's pretty lenient. It is nowhere near as strenuous as a zombie hover, and I will show that hopefully now. So I'm just like very lightly mashing the B button with one thumb. You can look at the input display. This is like probably like maybe like 4 to 5, maybe like 6 per second. Very easy. And the thing about it is you can go fast if you want to. All you need to do is touch the bottom of this surface, and once you do that, you'll start falling down, and when you touch the water, the game will think you were up there on that second level, and it will void you out, and that's kind of cool. Sometimes it'll also let you continue to jump slash there for some reason. You'll also be like stuck grinding against the bottom of the surface of that like collision. If that happens, you can also just stop mashing, and when you fall, you'll void out. Cool, so now we're up here, and that's pretty much the end. You're allowed to just go in and get the leaf now. And before I do that, I'll show one little quick, nice, convenient backup clip. Should, for whatever reason, you mess up about this part of the trick, whether you just backflip on the wrong way and don't land on standable collision, or something just goes wrong up there. What you can do is just, assuming you fall, instead of going back all the way to the first clippable area that we used near the start of the island, you can just come over here, with chest storage of course, clip into the right wall, and then be careful because, again, with this game, you warp up to any body of water above you, and there's one immediately to the right, so you just want to carefully go like this into the pond, and you'll be good to go. Just to show what would happen if you're not careful. it is very easy to mess this up because it's kind of annoying to see what you're doing, is if you just end too far. Oh, whoopsies. Kind of weird to clip in sometimes. If you go this way, you'll just get caught up on this water. And then you'll be sent back to the start, which I mean, I guess is convenient because the clippable area is over there. But again, that's just a quick little backup, so now let's continue. Again, we made our way up here. That's pretty much the end of the trick, and because you've watched the cutscene beforehand, you can easily just do bulb skip whatever way you may see fit. This is a convenient way to do it, the SVA setup. And the leaf is now yours. And that is everything. One last thing, as I mentioned at the very start, somewhere around there, it is technically possible to wait to watch the cutscene until now. That does save time. However, when you do that, you have to get Deku cutscene skip, as it crushes you and your respawn point will be over there. If you're familiar with Deku cutscene skip, it puts you back, usually, where is it? Down there. Because that's like where you come from. But if you fail the cutscene skip, you will end up spawning where Deku talks to you, and you'll no longer be up here, and you're going to have to do either the hover again or the chest storage again. Or not the hover again, but either like do chest storage again or just submit and do the hover. And it kind of defeats the whole purpose of this safer alternative. So again, I always recommend just watching the cutscene first. Unless you really want to do chest storage for some reason, but are trying to go as fast as possible, that is an option. Yes, so that is everything. You can now proceed to do whatever the heck you're doing, whatever route. You now are able to get the leaf without hovering, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is easily substitutable into any percent Nomases. All dungeons. I believe Hundo already has grapple at this point, so that doesn't matter. But you can do it in those 3 categories, and while it is slower, it is a nice, easy alternative that you can do. So yeah, that is all for me. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. And feel free to join the Wind Waker Discord. I will link that below. Thank you, and have a good one.